on some dark and stormy night, while the tempest blows, if someone whistles, that's mysterious Moe.
Take him off. We know you.
There's a man of mystery that's roaming through the land. Far and near you hear of him, he's found on every hand. Every city, town, and village knows of him by now. There's a way to recognize him, let me tell you how. If you're past that midnight dark by a graveyard road and someone whistles, that's mysterious Moe. Or on a dark and stormy night while the tempest blows, if someone whistles, that's mysterious Moe. He sees all, he knows all, he gets in everywhere. Some night he might wait for you up on the stairs, so when you're going down the cellar, walk upon your toes. And if someone whistles, that's mysterious Moe.
Hey, ooh, ah, ooh,
Come here.
Everybody's talking of me everywhere you go.
Who I am or what I am, nobody seems to know.
In the mountains, at the seashore, anywhere at all. Any time of day or night, you're apt to hear me call.
Yeah, well, you know, but you know.
That's mysterious Moe's.
That's mysterious, Mose.
That's mysterious Mose.
And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, that's good. Let's go take a peek over at YouTube. That's good. Let's go take a peek over at YouTube. YouTube is a go. Twitch is a go. I'm working a little bit on the outfit I was working on Saturday, so we're going to do that. I have a few things. Oh, now I've got an echo somewhere. Which one of you bad boys is echoing? That's YouTube. YouTube didn't get shut off. Okay. Anywho, where? This is the Do Light outfit that I was working on. Things that it needs to still be done. I'm just about ready to save this over to a short version. I'm going to clean these material zones up. I'm not going to do this on stream, but it still needs buttons right here. I don't know, maybe I'll get the buttons in there. I did this special morphs. Then I have to do special morphs for Genesis 8, which I'm not going to do on stream. And then also I have to save that out. The base and then a short version. And I got to do an undone version of the belt. I think I'm ready to do that with Genesis 9. I'm not going to do the morphs on that just yet, but I am going to save it out. Yo, Acellus Australius in the house, baby. How you doing, buddy? So I'm going to save this a few times. We're going to edit geometry around a little bit. Belated, yeah, Happy New Year's. I always forget to say that to people. I'm the bad friend. Doing good, thanks. Glad to hear it, man. And good to see you. I was in a stream, somebody else's stream recently, and saw you got a gift sub in there. I'm not even sure if it was somebody who you regularly visit or if it's just Twitch being weird. But it was kind of cool to see your name pop up with a gift sub. And then after I work on this, we're going to work a little bit more on another outfit that I had started last week, which will be I think the next one. I still have the rogue outfit. I'm not happy with the cape, but I'll swing back to that. So I have a couple other outfits I'm actually going to do before that. So first things first, we're going to start organizing some stuff to save this a couple of times. We're going to go over the content library. All the material files got done yesterday. And what we want to do is I want to rename this Tatty Bidet. It might have been Tatty Bidet. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Because I think I rated Tatty Saturday. All right, we're going to rename this. I'm going to call it base. So this is the backup version. Now I'm going to save this a couple of times. We're going to make changes to the geometry and then resave it. I'm going to double check our scene identifier on that. And that's just to say do light dress. That works. That's good. We're good with that. So I'm going to do a save as a props figure or prop asset. There we go. And we're going to save this. We're working in Genesis 9 today. So we're going to save it over here in the Genesis 9 folder. Right there. I'm going to call this one dress mid. And save that. And I think, and then we're going to call this dress mid here. And that should be good. Except that. Now we're going to save it as dress short. Actually, I should have. That's fine. I don't need to change that. I am going to change that for the short dress, though. I don't really. Oh, it's thinking about things. Wow. All right. This is now I'm going to call this short, and we're going to resave it as the short version of the dress. We're going to trim off the bottom parts in DAZ. All right. I'm just going to double check. Our scene identifier, that still says dress. That says short. You know what? That should be a space right there. Except that. Okay, that's good. Now we'll just save that again. Right there. I'm going to say short. 1, 2, 3. Short. Short. No, short. And that gets changed to short. And we hit enter on that. And that saves out. Okay, I'm going to delete this. And we're going to reload. We'll reload the mid. Actually, I think I'm just going to call that dress. So I'm going to rename that. Okay, we're going to pop that on there. Okay, we're going to fix this because I got material zones, surfaces in here. It's kind of set up to be split, but I have to fix these things right here. So what I have is I'm going to reassign a couple of zones to dress, and then there's a couple of trim zones in here that I'm just going to assign to dress trim. So we're in the geometry editor. We're going to look at right here. Close that up. Come over here. So this one here, hem short, that I'm going to select and add to dress. And then we're going to delete this hem short because I don't need it anymore. And then I have dress long, which is the rest of this white portion here. So we're going to select that, pop over to here, and assign it to the dress. And then I can get rid of this. And I'm going to come over here just to deselect. I can't see my deselect button up here. I had a, oh, we can right click and go geometry selection and clear selection. There we go. All right, so that, actually I got to fix some trim too. Okay, so this trim long and trim short, I need to just assign that to regular old trim. And now these two I can get rid of. And this should be good. I'm going to do a test. We're going to apply some of my materials to make sure it's acting right. And I have these trims. And I have these ornament trims. And those are working right. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do. The trick is I'm going to be able to use this file on the short and the long versions to add the trims. That was the tricky part. Okay, this is good to go. I'm going to reset the materials back to what I wanted. I actually want this to be the default hero texture set. Green with green ornament trim. Over here, 03 trim, green right there. That is going to be the main texture. So now I'm just going to save this. over this. I may have to do this a couple times because sometimes the morphs don't work quite right. It's always frustrating. That's the reason why there's a backup too. I think this is still mid, do light. Everything else here looks good. So we're going to do that. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to reselect Genesis 9. We're going to hop over. Uh-oh. My content library's gotten a little wonky. I'm going to try to see if I can knock it loose to work properly again. Okay, which one? There it is. I called that one short, so we'll bring that out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to delete these lower parts. I'm actually going to, yeah, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to rename. There's a trim zone in here. This we're going to get. Let's start with deleting this big portion here. And there's a thing called lower trim in here. So we're going to go over the tool settings. Hold on a second. All right, I'm coming back. Sorry about that. Where am I? I don't see myself. Oh no. Frickin' YouTube and its latency. All right, we're actually deleting parts of the dress. We're going to do this kind of like baby steps. So trim long is a little bit of a trim on the side of this lower part here. And also dress long. We're going to select that as well. And we're just going to come over here and go to geometry editing and delete selected polygons and say yes. Excellent. Okay, so now I have a couple of things. I'm going to get rid of this. This is the hem. So I'm going to delete the hem, and then I'm going to rename this and this. There's a little trim piece over here. That all becomes the hem. So first off, we select that, and then we're going to delete that off as well. Geometry editing and delete selected polygons and say yes. And that's basically our short version. Too short unless your name is Sarah. So what am I doing? I'm reassigning hem short is going to become hem. And that way I can use my material file with it. And then there's this trim short right here. It's this little spot of trim right here. That's actually just we're going to actually assign that to the hem as well. I'm going to get rid of you. And I think we're good to go. We'll double check. So now when I apply my matte file, that should change. That's the plan at least. So let's come over here and we're looking for that decorative green, right? 03 trim green right there. Looking good. And we'll just do a quick check that it's working like it's supposed to. And I think we're hunky-dory. I have a trim blue. I do. Decorative trim blue. But we're going to save it with the green. So we'll apply the green. I'm going to put the green trim back on. I have green trim with decoration and green trim without. Too many material files. Okay, I think we're good. I think that's it. This is called short. Looking good. I'm going to double check the ID. It should still say Do Light Dress. And there's that name. Okay, we're good there. I want them all to say the same thing because that'll work with a little better with hierarchical material files. All right, I'm ready to save this now. Boom. Right there, we're going to overwrite this short that we set up. I'm going to say yes. And it always does this. It lost the product name, so we're going to reassign the product name. And the rest of this stuff looks good, so I should be able to just accept that. And then fingers crossed. The Morse may not be working right now. They're funky sometimes. They get confused. I'm just going to see if they are working. And I'm going to shut things down and reload stuff and then see if they come back to life. They sometimes do that. And sometimes I have to resave it a few times, and I'm not sure what the magic handshake is for that. And I've lost my... All right, we've applied it. Let's come over here. Let's go take a look at my Morse. It seems to get the Morse about half the time. See, my Morse aren't working. I'm going to shut this off and then relaunch. Shut this down. And then we're going to do something similar for the belt so that it can become unbuckled or unbuttoned. It's actually a button belt. I'm going to put buttons on it. All right, we're casually waiting. See if we can get Daz loaded up again. Let's see if you are working yet. There we go. And my Morse are now working. Yay! That's what they're supposed to do. So the Genesis 9 dresses are pretty much done. And I did the special Morse earlier today, so you can get it off the shoulders. We can drop it down further, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and the other one should be working too. I'm just going to double check that dress is working. I hope. I didn't actually delete any geometry, so it should be fine. It's good. All right, now we're going to save the belt with an undone version. And there's little rows of geometry holding it together right now. So we're going to delete those out and then resave that. And to do that, I'm going to load in a Genesis 9 again. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the buttons now too. Where's my belt? There's my belt. Put the belt on. You know what? I haven't saved the belt with the materials yet. Let's put the materials on and resave. You know what? I am going to resave the belt when I get the buttons on, so it's not critical. I think I will do that. Oops, I didn't have the right thing selected. Let's try that. So the basic belt's going to be brown. And then I've got these little... It's hard to see. Let's switch over, see if we can find a wire shade. Hey, Rod, how are you doing today? Wire texture shaded, does that work? Kind of. There's these little rows in here I'm going to delete right there. And this is holding the top of the belt to the to the overlapping side. And we've got 2 on each side of these little straps that come out, which are really hard to see. And then there's another one back in here holding it together. So when I delete those, and if we were to simulate this, it should fall off. If we simulate it now, it should just stay on. And it's set for D-Force, but you don't really need to do it that way. Oops, Control Y. Let's clear the sim. All right, let me... I'm going to go ahead and save this with that texture. And I just want to double check. I think this is all right. Accessory waste looks good. Okay, now I'm just going to do we're going to change the name of this. You know, that shouldn't actually say G9. I'm going to fix that. No, it actually should say G9. I'm going to call you Undone. Not one of your better days? Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Rod. Must not have slept well last night. Oh, man. I hate it when that happens. I have generic pills to help me sleep. It's basically the active ingredient in NyQuil that puts you to sleep. I'm at that point where I notice if I forget to take it. I'm going to do a quick render so we can kind of see what the belt looks like. Maybe it'll be a little bit better in the render. There we go. You can kind of see the overlap. Buttons are going to go right here, 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 and here. I might touch this up and put a little line of black in here for the buttonholes. Anyhow, that's how the belt's coming along. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to remove the geometry that holds it together. So there's geometry editor. We're going to go to tool settings, and that's right there. I named them belt attachments, so it's easy to select those and then delete them. Geometry editing, delete selected polys, okie dokie. All right, and now if I simulate, it might be a little stiff, but it should come a little loose, depending on how we set that up. I'm going to make that a little looser. I want to make sure this falls apart. Let's pop over the surfaces and change the dynamic strength. Because, oh, I have it set to 0.8. That's why it won't fall apart. If we set that to 1, this should just come right off the body. Like so. There we go. So that's... I didn't make a mistake on that part of it. Although, you know what? I'm going to tweak the dynamic strength to be maybe 0.9. Let's see how... See, that holds okay. I make it a little bit stiffer. It'll probably stay up a little higher. The 0.8 was a little too stiff. So we're going to work between... We'll start with 0.85. Also, there's an expansion ratio on this. And yeah, what am I doing right here? 0.85. Let's see how that simulates. If it kind of drops down. Maybe a little looser than that. 0.887. Can I say 875? Does it actually? It does, but it rounded it up. That's going to kind of work, I think. You have to talk to your FNP. Last blood tests were good, so maybe just stress, not sure. Yeah. Stress and anxiety will keep me up at night, not going to lie. As my brain mulls over the stuff I'm worried about. And it just won't quit sometimes. That's why I drink. Drinking actually keeps me up because it causes the indigestion. Damn it. I can't win. Life is so cruel. All right, I think we're good. Do I still have my... I don't have a lot of Morse on here. But I got a few. And they seem to be working. This undone version will add more Morse to later, but not today. So we're going to... This is ready to be saved. I'm just going to double check and... Yeah, that's looking good. Let's come over here. I know, it doesn't seem right. Not being able to drink. I have to choose drink or sleep well. All right, we're saving this. This is going to be belt undone G8. And we'll save that. You know, it's only 2:30. Maybe I'll add a couple more. Nah. Actually, yeah, let's add a couple more. Accessory waste, we're going to accept that. I'm going to hope that works. I don't know if my morphs are still working anymore. My morphs are still working. Let's do this. Let's select the Genesis 9 here. I'm going to put the female shape back on. And we're going to just, I want some morphs that will just open the belt up. So we're going to do that with Marvy Designer. And then this belt will be pretty much done, except I still need to add the buttons to it. Buttons are going to be rigid follow nodes, so they'll just be attached. And the undone version will have buttons in a different spot than the done version. Undone version, the buttons will be attached to the left side, with the done will be attached on the right side, the upper side. Okay, there is Marvelous Designer. Picking up the whole screen. There we go. Get over there. And we want to kind of get the... Can I get the... I can't get the bottom. I can't reach that. I have to move you. Just a little, because I can't grab that bottom corner. It's too close. We can do this, though. And now I can grab that bottom corner. So that ideally it's not covered by all that garbage that I don't use at the bottom of my page. Does my stuff command still work? Oh, it does. I gotta update that, though. I don't have an Etsy shop anymore, or a Redbubble. Well, actually, I still have the Redbubble. The Etsy was a kind of a pain in the ass. Oh, not quite worth the effort. Every time somebody orders on Etsy, I have to use like another printing service with my Etsy store to get things made. Whereas Redbubble, that's basically what they do. They are the printing store. So if somebody orders at Redbubble, I don't have to do anything. Somebody orders on Etsy, I would have to go over to Printify and release the order. And I actually have to pay for it up front and then get paid by Etsy. It's a little complicated. So there's always that risk out there if I get something printed and sent out and somebody challenges it on Etsy, that I could be out of pocket on money. And what are we doing? We're adjusting the belt. We're going to load a few things in here. You know what? I'm just going to open up the Genesis, the female version of the project, G9, that one right there. We're going to open that up. I'm going to freeze all of this. And I'm going to hide the existing belt. I'm going to set that to... Actually, I got to unfreeze it. I'm going to set that to be deactivated. And we'll just hide that so we don't see it. Now we'll bring that I need to save this out. Belt undone. You have to do a couple of things here. Switch that mesh resolution back to base. Change the mesh, turn the mesh moving off. Export that. I'm going to put you over here in this belt folder. You're going to be belt undone G9. And that's what we're going to load over here. Import add OBJ to garment. Belt undone G9. There we go. Okie dokie. Should come in right there. I'm going to strengthen it so it stays stiff because it's kind of a leather belt is the idea. Now if I do this, it should just slide towards the ground. Except here, let me... my ground plane isn't interacting with objects right now. Oh, it is on. Okay. Now that should Meshing pattern. Don't be meshing pattern. Did I bring you in as a pattern? It's probably doing the rest of it. There it goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin that up a little bit and make a few opening morphs. Let's do that. What do I got there? Oh, you're left over from here. I know what that is. Yeah, those didn't get selected even though I thought I selected them. We can fix that. Activate. Deactivate pattern sewing, and we'll just hide those. Alrighty. I'm going to put pins here and around, kind of through here, and we're going to pin at least half the back, and then we'll work on opening up the right side a couple of times. So I'm going to come over here to the pin lasso, and we're just going to whip around here, come through here, back down around here, maybe back through here, back out here. Should be good. I'm going to come to the back, and let me see. Hopefully I don't touch too much of the front. We might need to do this. Get more stuff on Redbubble. Never tried Etsy. Etsy, you have to handle the printing yourself. Although I think I got a lot more. Did I get more Etsy orders or Redbubble orders? I don't know. I think I actually ended up getting a few more orders with Etsy, but it is kind of a pain in the tuchus. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to redo that. I want to see if I can get maybe just a little bit further. Kind of like in there. And did I touch anything on the front? I don't think so. Okay, we're going to turn gravity off and just... Actually, if I just leave this... Yeah, we're going to turn gravity off and just pull it out a little bit. And call that open R right. Where's gravity? There we go. I'm going to say 0. I'll probably tweak that. We're going to do... I think I'm going to have 3 open right morphs and 3 open left morphs. And then I think I'm going to add another hanging morph and another on the ground morph with the undone version. All right, let's try this. So I want to just pull this up and off a little bit. And I'm going to call that open R01. So let's make sure we got the belt selected. File, export OBJ selected. I should probably change that to say hanging 01 and resave it. We'll do that. But I'm doing open right 01. Okay. And hey, it says thin and welded now. Huzzah. Okay. All right, we're going to open out a little bit more. I think I'll add a little bit of gravity. We'll pull it out a little bit more and droop it. And then the last one, it'll just be hanging really loose with full gravity. So I'm going to just do that. And this is just kind of floating out there because we've got no gravity. So maybe I could just pull you out a little bit further like so. Maybe a little bit over. You know what? Actually, that might be good right there. Yeah, we're going to call that open right 02. File, export OBJ selected. Open right 02. Then we're going to do 3 on the left side. Save that. Thin and welded is checked again. All this morning, it was automatically going to thick, and now it's back to thin and weld. It likes to fuck with me. I get used to it being thin and weld, and then it starts autumn, and it just slides itself to thick, and I don't catch it, and then I can't use those morphs. And we're just going to come over here and double check and make sure our morphs are working. So we're just going to load these in. Choose morph file, belt, open right. We got a couple of open rights. All right, looks like it worked. Come over here to morphs. That's kind of what we did. And that's kind of good. I think when I save this, I'm going to save that with the right turned up a little bit. And then we're going to attach the buttons onto here instead of onto here. So it's as if it's unbuttoned. All right, put that back. We're making good time here. All right, let's we're going to put gravity back on to full. Which is minus 9,800. I'm pretty sure that's something like millimeters by millimeters squared or something like that. There we go. We like that. How does it look in the back? Oh, I like that shape in the back. Let's make sure we have that selected and export. OBJ selected. Right, 03. Okay, thin and welded. Oh my God, messing with my mind. All right, let's put this back to where it was. Like that. We're going to delete the pins. I'm going to repin it so the right side doesn't move. So I'm going to try to draw a line kind of through here. And hopefully I don't accidentally catch into the other side, which it's apt to do. And then we're going to, so we came over here, so we're going to come over here. So I can use either one of these together with the other one. And that way I don't need to make both morphs. Because you can just use left and right side separately and they'll look good together. That's the plan. How did that work? So I actually want to pull that out in front of this. Or do I want to slide it? Do I want to just slide it down a little bit? Uh-oh. See, that's what I was talking about. Something got stuck. Right in there. Let's see if we can clear that up. I think I can deselect them. That didn't let me deselect. Why deselect? Can I just select you and then deselect? You a bad boy. I just have to delete that, I think, and redo it. Delete. Selected pin. Do I still have pins in the back? Nope. Delete selected pin turned into delete. I'm going to just redraw this. I'm going to be careful down there. Let's try this. Boop, 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 and we'll come through here. Out towards the end. We're going to loop around. I'm trying to make sure I'm grabbing those little points on the edges in the middle there. So I'm kind of going through the middle of the polys like so. And then we'll just kind of come out through here. And then we'll do the back. Like that. Okay, now we're ready to try this again. That's better. So I'm thinking, kind of thinking I want to try to get this on top and just over. Kind of like that. Actually, no, because the other one doesn't move that much. I'm just going to slide it down like so, I think. I'll call that 1 because the right one just floats out a little bit. And I want to be able to maybe use the 2 1s together. We'll see how this works. Let's export that file. Export OBJ selected. This is going to be left. And then we're going to pop over. I'm going to load that up along with the other right. And I'm going to switch you back to texture shaded so I can see better. There's my morph loader. So I want that and that. Accept those, and then they come out. They look good. So let's see how this works. I think I've got a transparency on there, so I'm going to just turn that off. It doesn't really need it anyhow. Right here. I'm just going to say none to that map, and then that should look a little better. There's just a little weird transparency error that happens with stuff like that. Okay, so if that's the 01 for the right, that's the 01 for the left. So those are looking good. So if we don't use the right, that left looks good. And if we do use the right, it still looks good. Excellent. Okay. I think 02 for the right pulls it out a lot more. So 02 for the left, we're just going to pull it out more out this way. And then our 03 just kind of drops down. And then we'll just kind of do the same thing with that. All right, continue along. What did I say? I'm just going to just pull this out further. You know what? I think I'm going to have it come out. I selected the wrong thing. Wah, wah, wah. Let's do that. Let's put this out in front like so. Maybe somewhere in there. File, export, OBJ selected, left 02. Then put the gravity back on. Thin and weld. Okay. Right click. Simulation properties. Nope, I think I did the wrong thing. There we go. Gravity, minus 9,800. And we'll do that, and this should just kind of drop to the hip. So I kind of want it somewhere about in there. I think that'll be fine. File, export, OBJ selected. Left 03. Oops, let's try that again. We're good here. All right. I'm going to undo back to its default position. We're going to get rid of this other stuff. And then we're going to make one more hanging morph and one more on the ground morph. It's probably good. Let's clear the pins. Let's delete. Actually, I could just hide. Can I deactivate the avatar? It's stuck. There we go. Can I right click? Is there an option? Avatar options. Delete. Deactivate avatar. There we go. I'm going to deactivate all of the rest of the dress. So first we got to activate it because then it doesn't let me go straight to deactivate pattern sewing. Hide that. Let me just double check. Do I have an activate avatar? Why am I not seeing? Delete. I don't know. Maybe I should just delete the avatar. I could just hide it, but I think it's in the way. Display avatar, toggle show avatar. Let's see how this belt drops. See, the avatar is still there. I reckon I need to, is it right click? Deactivate avatar. Is it just deactivating portions of the avatar? Is that what we're seeing? No, that's working. Okay. I'm going to put that back. And actually, I'm going to have to reactivate the avatar. You know what? I'm just going to delete it. Glue it. Just have to remember not to save this, or I will cry. All right, we're going to pin just a little bit of the belt. We're going to put the gravity on. Let's pause the simulation. Let's pause the simulation. I can still see the simulation light on. There we go. Okay. Minus 9,800. All right, now we'll do that. I would like that to kind of droop a little on the top. And I wish I didn't have this weird curve. So I think we're going to do this. And then maybe I can put a leather material in here. What are we looking at? Fabric, custom, right there. Somewhere in here is leather full grain. So that's, yeah, but it still has the curve built into it. Let me try to use the belt that's already in here. Can we deactivate pattern sewing on that? I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to select the original belt and see if I can, if that works a little bit. That might work a little bit better. Going to make you visible. We're going to do activate. Am I looking right at it? I'm on the wrong. Let's try it over here. Activate. I'm going to is it going to get rid of that twist? See, it should. I'm going to put that back right there. No. Oh, you know what it is? I had the stupid. And then we can activate. Then I'm going to put a pin right in there. I thought I was clicking on activate, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, there it is. Got it. Stop that. Oh, suddenly it's gotten really slow. All right, you know what? I'm going to grab over here. Come over here. Do that. Let it fall apart. It would be nice if you straightened yourself back out. I might just have to switch that to be leather or something. Can I do two of these at once? Oh, wait, there it goes. That's kind of what I wanted to do. You know what? I kind of like that. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. We'll just rotate that like so. And I think I'm good with that. Let me see if I can use this as a morph target, though. I'm optimistic, but because I deleted geometry, this may not work. So let's try this file, export obj selected. And you're just going to be hanging O2. Export that. If this doesn't work, we go back to the other one we imported. Thin and welded. Say okay to that. Okay, over in here. Use the morph manager. Bring that in. Hanging O2. Accept that. Okay, it says it was successful. Let's see if the vertex order is still good. Vertex order is no longer good. So that doesn't work. It loaded as a morph target, but my vertexes are... So now it looks horribly, horribly janky. See what happened. All right, so we can't do that. Boo-hoo. All right, back to the other one. let's just hide you again. And we'll just deactivate this, make sure it's not in the way. I could just delete it, except I'm afraid. I'm scared. Activate, deactivate, there we go. And then I think we just activate and let that go. Straighten this out, I might be able to do it if I just really jack up the gravity. Do I got gravity on? I do have gravity on, don't I? I do. Oh, it's because I got that leather on there. So let's see if we can get this to work a little nicer if we just cheat gravity. All right, we're going to basically double it there. We'll double it again. I might go with that. I don't know. What if we say... What if we say minus 500? That's what I was actually looking for. I think that'll do the... That'll do. We're going to save that. That's hanging. Export OBJ selected. This is going to be hanging O2 now. Update that. Say yeah, yes. All right. Let's put this back. You know what? I've got this screwed up. I'm just going to delete it. Did I just export that out? I don't know. Did I have it selected? I think I had it selected. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. That's better. That's what I wanted hanging O2 to look like. All right, we're going to delete you. We're going to just re-import, and then we're going to put a version on the ground. Import, add, obj to garment. Belt undone. Okie dokie. I'm going to I want it kind of like that, but the other way, like that, I think. I'm going to set this close to the ground. I want it lined up kind of in the center point right there. All right, that's good. All right, where's my gravity set at? Is it still minus 100,000? Let's put it back to 9,800 for now. I'm going to say H on, Control H on that. So I'm going to try to pull this out flat. I should probably pin one side and then I can just drag the other. We're getting there. It might have a bit of a curve shape that it doesn't want to get rid of. I think if we do the too much gravity trick again, that'll help flatten it out a bit. All right, that's coming out along. All right, we're going to get rid of these pins. And then I'm just going to pin the other side so we can drag that out. We just have to try to get you to untwist. Maybe I just grab. We're getting there. There it goes. Are you dropping through the ground? You want to. You're thinking about it. There we go. Get you nice and flat. Kind of line you out a little bit better. I like that. Let's delete those, and then I can just kind of pull it along a little bit like that. There we go. That's on the ground 3. File, export. I'm going to just tweak the additional thickness just a little bit. Pop it off the ground just a little bit more. File, export, OBJ selected. On the ground, O2, 03. There we go. Save. Okay, I don't want to save this, so I'm going to just shut this down. No. Control Shift F. We're going to reset that. Control Shift F. I want to make sure that that is the default. Then I'm going to reload in those 2 morphs we just did. Or loaded them in. Choose a morph file. Hanging 2. On the ground 3. Do that. Accept. Okay. All right, looks good. Go into edit mode. We want to change the color of those parameter dials. So this is the color I use for special dials. Now let's organize this so it's under actor and special. So we do that. And I want you here in actor and in the special category. And we'll say okay to that. Okie dokie. I'm going to rename hanging to be hanging 01 on this one. Should be good. Save these. And I think I just did special morphs. You know what? I'm just going to save them all. Okay, that should be good. So that's what I wanted to do for today, I think. I'm just going to double check my content and see if I actually got what I think I got in here. Drop that on there. The morph may not be working right at the moment. Oh, it's working now. Yay. So those are good. There is 2. There's a left 2 in here somewhere, isn't there? Where's my left 2? Left 1. Why did I not get left 2 in here? Damn it. I gotta dial my female morphs in to bring those in again. Boop. Alright, select the belt. Morphiloader Pro. Choose the morph file. There we go. We're just gonna make sure that those are all good. Yo, DJ Ray, how are you doing? Okay, some of these probably loaded into... Oh no, oh no. I loaded the wrong belt. Let's just bring you back to... Let's reload those morphs just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Alright, is good. Accept that. Come over here. Let's go take a look at what we have. These 2 need to be cleaned up. Yeah, all's doing okay. Come over here. Set our presentation to... I don't know. Say okay to that. Let's move these. Over to here. Into the special category. Is good. We're going to resave everything. And I should be good. All right, I'm going to work on another outfit now. So I've got the the belt, the undone belt. We got the regular dress and the short dress. This I don't need anymore, so I'm going to cut and move it out of the way. That's my in case of emergency reload. So let's paste that right there. Dang, somebody's got a lot of garbage out here. And now we're going to go back to Marvelous Designer, work on another outfit. So what I just did, I still have to do for Genesis 8. So I will do that probably tonight. And that kind of, I still have to do hierarchical material files, and I have to save some D-Force settings. Nope. I was thinking it would be a... So the next one I was thinking of being a bard outfit, but I don't know if I want to make a musical instrument to go with it. So I might call it something else. I'm sliding down in my chair as I tend to. Football tonight. Is it Steelers? Is this season... Is this the last Monday night game for the season? And what do they do? Is it week 17? I haven't been following football at all. What does NFL.com say? Ooh, it is. Texans and Steelers. Yo, Napsmart. It's wild card weekend. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a wild card game. Oh. Well, good luck with the Steelers there, Ray. 10-7. Dang. Wild card round. Niners beat the Eagles. Packers lost to the Bears. Boo. Bills beat the Jaguars. Yay. And the Patriots beat the Chargers. Boo. Are there more? Is there one other game in here? think what do we got? Rams over the Panthers. You think the Chiefs are done for the year? I don't see the Chiefs. Yeah, I think the Chiefs didn't make it, did they? And then so for the divisional round next weekend, we have the Patriots and the winner of the Steelers Texan game, and then we got the Rams and the Bears. Oh, and you got the Niners and the Seahawks, and you got the Bills and the Broncos. That's next week. Joe's the football follower. Yeah, but you still go. Well, I guess you would have known. You should have known if you're a real Chiefs fan. But Joe knows. I'm sure Joe knows. Okay, file open project. I am tentatively calling this Bard, but I'm going to change the name because I don't want to make a musical instrument. I'm lazy. This is currently what the outfit's looking like. I'm going to add boots, though. It's got lace-up sides. I'm going to give it a little under, some shorts underneath. I'm going to lace up this. So I have to add, I'm going to add the lacing here. I'm going to put a little bit of a half top on those sleeves. I have to put a little knot here, and a little knot down here. I have to kind of mark this off so we can make a shorter version of it, I think. Maybe somewhere in here, down to here. So I think for the next 45 minutes, we're going to be tweaking this part of the dress. You know what? Okay, so let's get these copied over. And then those should automatically propagate into the right spot over here. And then if we run the sim, looking good. Okay. I'm going to work on these right through here. And I'm trying to think. Okay, so I want this on top. Let's do that. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, and a little one down here. And the little one's going to be on the bottom. So let's set up a little one down here. Let me mark some. So I need 1 and 2. So I need to put a point here, and then we'll split the difference. So I'm going to set those. I need some here, and I need some in here. Right there. I'm going to put a split point right in there. If I say 40, does that work? And is this... I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it where I clicked on it. Let's click right there where that ends. And then put a split point there. And then what I want is probably a split point right there. And I have to figure out where this lines up. That's right in there. So I'm going to put a split point right about there. And then we're going to put a matching split point right about in there. Now we're just going to put a split point right in the middle. So we're going to say split, uniform split, and 2. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. Uniform split, and OK. So these are the anchor points for where I'm going to sew everything to. And I'm going to move this out a little bit so I can access my points a little bit better. Let's do that. Let's make a copy of you, but you're going to be short. And this is going to get chopped in half. And then I need some that are at angles. I'm going to need 1, 2, and we'll tweak those. And then I'm going to duplicate these. Do that. Let's bring these edges down. And I'll tweak. Arg. That's all I got to say. Arg. So I want these at a little bit of an angle like that. We'll probably tweak the sizing of those. Let's put this stuff all up in here. Yo, Atherin. Hola, chicas. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop right there. Let's bring this. All right, let's sew this into here. All right, that is good. I'm going to resew this to this edge over here. So we're going to take those off. And then resew them. It's right into here. That's good. Then I want this. I went the wrong way on that one. I want this sewn into here. I'm going to want this sewn into here. This comes over here. And that comes over here. I put this one in the wrong spot, didn't I? Yeah, that's in the wrong spot. We'll get rid of that. And we'll resew that. That's supposed to come over to here. All right, let's see how this is looking. I'm probably going to have to put some layers in here to... Actually, that works. That kind of works. Although maybe I want this to be a bit longer because I'm pulling a little too tight right there. So we'll just tweak that out. And of course, I'm going to have to readjust this after I chop it in half. Stick a knot in there. And maybe one more. I don't want it to droop, but I want it to kind of, that is looking good. That one, I can probably pull you over a little. I should probably slide that down. You know what, this should probably come this way. So we're going to redo that. I selected the wrong one. Let's try you. I can't select that point right there to edit it proper. Did you get... What the hell happened there? I am trying to select you. And then what I want to do is I want to grab that. And do that. And then I want to reverse the sewing. And does that work? I can see it sewed on there. It just refuses to... I'm just going to re-sew that. This is acting funky, and I don't know why. Oh, I think I got it sewed in the wrong way. Let's try this. Nope, stop that. I should just re-sew it like that and that. That's the easy way. And then that snaps back into place. That's better. That looks like it's kind of goes underneath. Can I pull you out a little bit more? And still... I think so. Okay, now we're going to adjust this. And you should probably... Okay, and then I'm going to adjust this. No, you're right. You're in the right spot. This is probably okay. I don't think I need to tweak those. You're probably fine. I could just lower it a little bit. No, I'm going to leave it alone. Never mind. We're just going to make this shorter. Because it's got a little bit of a weird bow in it I want to get rid of. I think that's okay. How are you looking? Are you too... Yeah, I had it and I lost it. Oh, here, let's give some shout outs. Charles may be watching, but he hasn't got the energy to mod. So there's Mr. Rod Shelley. I saw Napsmore in here. I don't think I have the Napsmore command just yet. Not yet. We'll do the Napsmore. We'll do the classic shout out for our good friend Napsmore, though. There we go. And of course, I saw Athrun in here, our good friend Athrun. Athrun. There we go. There we go. Yeah, at some point we'll get the nappy, a proper Napsmore command in there. All right. So I need to dupe these. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chop that in half and put a tie in the middle. And then I'm also going to add the tie to these ends. And then I'm going to block this out to make a short version. Which means, and then we'll start signing materials. So I'm basically going to have lace side upper, lace side lower. So we can cheat. We can just get rid of those. Or do I want to do that? Because I'm going to put my tie down here. I might not make a shorter version of this. Sorry, Sarah. I'm not quite feeling it. Because I would have to have a tie in here and a tie down here for short and a long version. I mean, I guess I could just do the old... and I don't even really want those to untie because they're... Unlacing stuff is a pain in the tuchus. Anywho, let's finish these. We're gonna Control D these and move them. I don't have any room in here for this, do I? And I'm getting above the neckline. You know what? If I bring you like that, we bring these two. I'm gonna Control D those. Hopefully everything's mirrored properly, so they'll just sew in nicely. And then I can bring you up here. If we come over here, I should be able to do that. Everything should be... Of course, I need you to actually be on top. This one lined up right. This one just needs to... Can I just pull you through? Nope, and now I've got it twisted. I broke it. I done broke it. There we go. That came out right the second time. Okay, I think I can put these back where they belong. That way it'll make for easier UV mapping later. Let's do a save at this point. I'm going to add a little bit more onto the sleeves. Maybe like from here to here. So actually, what do you say? 225. I'm going to make a little thing that's like 225 and a bit of a curve and then sew it in. I'm going to put a middle point so it's going to come up and over. I think, yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to do a, you know what, I'm just going to draw a rectangle in here. We're going to say, let me start with 100 and 225. Say okay on that. Just make sure that that's quad optimized. I'm going to put a split in here. We'll do a uniform split so it's right in the middle. I'm going to get rid of you. Get rid of you. Make you a curvy. Like that. And then I want to put a split in here. In the middle. Then I'm just going to sew that to that. It's too, this is too long. I'm going to change that in just a second here. So that to this. Should be good. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I still need to add a trim in here. That's fine. And I want you to come this way. And I don't want it to be that long, so we're going to adjust that back a little. I just want it to be a little bit of a detail. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Where am I going to put you? Maybe I probably should put you out here. Because right now this is longer than this, it looks like. And it'll get even worse with that bottom, so we'll put you here. And we'll just duplicate that to the other side. Like so, and maybe unstrengthen that. And I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, let's get the knots. So I think last time I did this, I made a proper garment of just the knot, so it's a lot more reusable than spending an hour futzing with getting a knot to work again. So here, let's hit save. Let's do file, import add. Actually, open garment, and that one right there, bow knot, 5 millimeter. I think that should be good, and I should be able to just move this and then sew it in. We'll start with a copy here. Open. Yep. Okay, where are you? You are. No. I wanted to add. I did that wrong. Good thing I hit save. Let's try this again. Okay, let's try file, add garment. Here we go. That's better. Bring you, we're going to line you up there. Before I sew that in, I'm going to make a copy of it. And you know what? We'll put this over on the side because I think I got the room for it. Do that. Bring you like so. I'm going to line this up over on the right. And then after I get that sewn in, we'll do the duplicating thing to the other side. go. We're going to put that in right about there. And I'm going to freeze that. It might be frozen already. I can't tell. It was frozen. Okay. And that one's frozen too. All right. So what we want to do... Nope. Let's try and get you lined up a little closer here. I could just save that as an OBJ and attach it. And attach it as a rigid follow node, but I'm actually just gonna sew it in. We're pretty close to good there, right? Right about there. So what I'm gonna do is chop this up and then sew this to these over here. That's the way they should work. It just becomes a matter of trying to figure out what goes where. Go. Phone made a noise. White phone make a noise. All right, let's come over here and put a chop in the middle. I'm going to put a split right in the middle. We'll do a cut in here. Here we go. We'll drop a line through here like that. Do a cut. I'm going to move these out just a little. Let me see. If I move you 10 centimeters to one side and you go 10 centimeters to the other side, I'm not seeing... what oh, I cut the wrong thing. Damn it. I thought that was the side lace. This is the one I want right there. That's better. All right, split uniform. Okie dokie. Activate the G. Double click. Do a cut. Select one of these. And I don't know which one I got. There we go. You can see the little gap that opened up over there. This is better. There, we got a little gap over there. I can come in here now and just sew these together. So that to that. And that to that. Should be good. Now if I simulate it, these should just pull tight to like so. And I might be able to simulate this. See, it's a little tight now. I'm just going to loosen up these edges just a little bit. I'm just going to pull that out about 2.5 or 2.2, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm watching that little number on the top. 2.2. See if that gives me a little extra. It's probably going to be all right. Let's hit save on this. All right, let's unfreeze this and see how it goes. I should put that knot over here where I can see it with that. Nope. I apparently grabbed something. There it is. Look at that. I got a wayward point there. This way I can see how my sewing on the ends looks. And that's what I was expecting it to look like. Yay. All right. Hit save just in case. Select all of this. Let's, am I simulating? I'm not simulating. Let's undo that, but let's do that and see how this goes. It's kind of a hot mess. I'm going to stop that. What I probably want to do is freeze some of these anchors. Freeze this stuff in here. And by that stuff, I mean these ones right here, 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 and here. I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. We can tweak the, if I unstrengthen that, what does it do? Does it go horribly wrong? Do I have gravity turned on? That's always a good question. I do. Yeah, it's probably okay. All right. That seemed to go in well. Now I'm going to attach that to that. So that one is right there. That's at the bottom. And maybe I rotate you and stick you down in here. Except that's going to probably... No, I think I can... Maybe we'll rotate you the other way so that the connecting ends are on the top. There, I like that. And I can probably put this down under here then. So that it's near the part it attaches to. All right, so now we're going to chop that in half, move it out a little bit, and attach it to these ends here. That's the plan. Let's see. I'm on the wrong side. There we go. Okay. Let's line this up close to that like we did on the other one. Did I not just grab all of you? And then we're just going to grab that and move. What are you two? Oh, you got left behind. Oh no, I hate it. My marquee select failed to get far enough away from those to grab them. So I have to just kind of back this up to where it was. Right there. All right, now I think we're good. Oops, missed. Let's try this. Okay, then we take you, put you down in here. That's a little bit better. All right, now I can move it. Pretty close. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We're going to chop this in half and spread it out a little bit, and then sew that to the ends of the tie there. So we want to do a uniform split. We're going to cut a line through the middle of that. We're going to cut that. select this and then nudge it and nudge it. That's looking fine. I'm going to see, is that what I think it is? That attaches to that one. And I think that'll work like that. And that attaches to that. So I think that's the way to go. Let's see how this looks. So the stuff on the other side is probably just flapped loose at this point. So if we look over there, hopefully, ideally there's a loose one over here with a gap in it now. There we go. Looking good. So I'm going to do what we did with the other one. We're going to freeze these little blocks. So I'm going to unfreeze this and then just freeze the holding blocks. There's little squares in the middle. So unfreeze. Am I still simulating? I'm still simulating. I'm going to back that up a little bit. Okay, I'm not simulating, so I'm good. All right, let's try 1, 2. Actually, let's do this again. Grab all of that. Unfreeze. Grab this, 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 and this. Oops. And freeze those in place. What the fuck? Did I hit something that wasn't Control K? I must have hit the wrong. I must have hit like a Control F or something. Anywho, looking good. Ideally, I can now Control D this to the other side, and it should work. All right, let's turn the sim off. Let's grab those. Let's back out a little bit. Let's Control D that and put it right in here. We'll take a look and see how that's lining up. Probably fine. So that should be over here. Right there. Let's see how that works. It should attach. I think we're doing okay. All right, those parts are all looking good. Let's stop this and let's save. What do we got? I got 15 minutes. I'm going to start chopping this up for material. So I need a hem. I need trim here, here. I think I can merge that. And maybe merge. Do I want to merge this? Merge this to this? Or not? You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how that goes. And I got to merge that. So we'll start with this one. And I probably, when I do that, we'll have to reorganize everything. It's fine. It's fine. I think I'm just going to move these out of the way for a little bit. Do I get a merge option? And hopefully, boop. Okay. Do I get a merge option with this? Yep. Okay. Part of this got left to the other side. We got to move you. Because I want you lining up in here. Is that going to snap? Not quite. Let me see if I can get that to snap in. I think that's good. Let's see how it looks at the bottom. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now I want the center line to run through here. So we'll select everything and haul it off this way. It's right about there. And I can bring these back down. And let's bring the shorts on the UV map down. I think the shorts are all good to go. No, they're not. Well, they say hose. Hose and hose hips. And I need to call that cuff, call that waist, and call that. And I'm going to call these shorts instead. The fact I call them hose gives away the fact that I chopped up pantyhose to make those. And this is, I don't know, hose or shorts waist. And I should make these colors. And maybe line you up a little bit better. Let's try that. Let's put the center line right through there. Right about in there. Pretty close. I don't know if I nudge that too far. That's probably good. I don't want that too close because I want to be able to conveniently grab that without accidentally grabbing anything from down here. You didn't get moved. You a naughty boy. I'll put you right in there. Okay, a few more cuts, and I think got this. I need hems. So offset is an internal line. Say 20. If I say 25, I think I'm going to do a 25. I might put a decorative pattern along the bottom of that. And we would then run it along the, maybe a little version of it right in here. And I might put a pattern on those, but maybe not. And I might not put a pattern here. We'll see. Anyhow, can I cut and sew all of that? Is it winding in about anything funny? It isn't. I think it's cutting and sewing. All right, that is good. Let me think about if I do want a short version or not. I might do a short version, but I might cheat and not include a tie on the bottom. Slacker. So if I do a short version, I would probably maybe run it from here. And angle that. I'm just going to do an internal. Where am I at here? Is that? I'm going to do an internal line until it looks like it's about in this spot here. Offset as internal line. Let's say 300. And I don't think that's in the right spot. Let's say 250. Let's try that. Let's see where that lined up at. Pretty freaking close. I think I want that just a hair up by maybe 260. 265, and then I can put a little cut straight across here, and then we'll just kind of try to line up the back a little bit like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'll assign these to, so these will be lace, so it's going to be dress, laces, side upper, side lower. These I'm going to have to give, these will be, yeah, sides, and that'll be chest. And this will be chest lace. And I'm going to have a little, so I'm going to have hem, dress long, dress hem long, and I'll call these lace long, and these will be laces, and then laces long. I think that's good. Am I too short again? I don't think I'm too short. Did I cut and sew that yet? I haven't cut and sew that. All right, let's kind of line up the back. And actually, I wanted to redo that, right? I said this was going to be 265. So offset as an internal line. We're going to say 265. Put that up just a hair. Right about in here, I'm hoping. Right about in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 260. I'm going to do 260. 265 is just a hair too far. Say okay on that. All right. I think that's good. I think I could put a cut and sew on that. And then we're going to do another, what did I do? 25 on that? Offset as an internal line. I think that was 25 on the bottom. We'll do a cut and sew on that. So we can assign a material zone to that. It's almost, I'm going to manage to just get the trim set up, and then I have to go through. So we're going to finish up setting up our trims, and then and that'll be it for the day. Cut and sew those. Did I already do that? I did not. I can now put you back. And then we'll work on getting one over here. I want this. Give myself a little room there. So I can select this line right here. Let's try 260 like we did on the other side and see where that lines up. I want it right about there. Right about there. And we went too far, so we're going to pull that back. Is that 10 or 5? Let's try 5. Let's say 255. Right there. Close enough. I like that. Cut and sew. Nope, that was a cut. Cut and sew. There we go. Move that down. Okay, we'll put our little $25 like so. Okie dokie. Cut and sew that. All right, what was that number? I think it was what, 255. Can I do a split? 255. Nope. actually cancel that. What are you? You are 293.8. So we'll put a split right in there at 293.8. 293.8. Okie dokie. You're still in the wrong spot because there's an extra 25 I need down here. So what I got to do is kind of cheat. Put a split. So let's undo that split. I'm going to put a split 25 right here. The offset for this, right? You're 30.5, so I got to match that. 30.5. Oakley Dokley. You are 293.8. 293.8. Let's see how those are looking. Yo, thanks for the ban, man. I didn't even see that. You must have just showed up in Twitch. Oh, you know what? Twitch probably held it. All right, I should have a point right there, right? Right there. I'm going to take that. And I could just go straight across with that one. I think would be fine. Or kind of, yeah, we can just do straight across and do a cut and sew on that. I think that'll look fine. And what I want is, maybe we'll slide that up. This should actually be over here, right? I'm probably going to redo those. You know what? I'm probably going to redo where those are. Because I think actually what I want is I don't want them up here. I want them right down in here. So I'm going to redo all of that stuff. So we're going to call it right here for the day. I'm making progress on this. We made good work on the other outfit. We'll show that and then we'll call it a day. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Let's bring up the outfit I'm currently working on, which hopefully will be ready to, hopefully I'll be ready to send to Valkyrie tomorrow so she can start doing her texture add-ons. And then maybe I can submit on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I did get the Wild Fang outfit submitted just yesterday. So hopefully February on that. Hopefully February on this. Yeah, thanks for being here, Rod. It's always a pleasure. If you're on YouTube, I appreciate that. Like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're over on Twitch, we're going to go raid out to somebody. But I haven't figured out who yet. Let's see who's on Twitch today. Let's bring up my... All right, there we go. Nope, still thinking. Let's see if we've got any of the friends on Twitch. I'm going down to the bottom and we work our way back up. I saw Celis Australis in here also. Hey, follow my friend Celis. Sometimes streams his garden if you're lucky to catch it. Memloss is on, and I can hear myself. Memloss is just a friend from Irumakin's stream, I think, and Chan the Magic Man. And they've just got one viewer and they're playing Grand Theft Auto, so maybe we'll see that. But let me scroll up just to make sure that we haven't got somebody else we want to go hang out with. Slowly making my way up, inch by inch, step by step. Yeah, I don't see any of the immediate art friends, so I think we're going to do that. I think we'll just go say hi to a gamer friend of ours, Memloss. And you can hear him in the background tooling around one of those Grand Theft Auto 5. I cannot remember if that's like Liberty City or something else. Anywho, Chris, load in your dress. Show it off. Where am I? I'm in the main thing. Let's come down here, and here, and here, and here, and over here. And there was my baby, and over there was my baby, and way over there was my baby. Do that. I'm just going to put that off to the side. We did the short version today. And I'm just going to pull the short version over, and we'll set this to rendering so you can kind of see what we got done. And while that's going, I'll do the promos and things. Hey, if you're not in the Discord already, feel free to join the Discord. If you put stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturdays with our Saturday Night Social, Saturday, 8 p.m. It's an art share, it's a Discord chat, and it's an old cartoon. The first group of Betty Boop cartoons, actually some Betty Boop cartoons are already public domain, but now we've got 3 more. Officially, Betty Boop's first appearance is now in the public domain, but we're going to watch one of the others. We watched one, The Marvelous Mouse or something like that. I don't know. Miraculous Mouse? I don't know. Something like that. That's what's currently the startup screen today. Are you doing anything? You're thinking about it. Okay, fine. Also, hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to go over and spend lots of money on my products. And check out CS Bond's Discord over here. There we go. So we still have to add the buttons. We're going to put buttons on here and here. 2 buttons on the top, 2 buttons on the bottom. So that's coming along, looking good. Yeah, thank you for being here on YouTube and for Twitch. Feel free to join the raid. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to copy that raid call. If you are a subscriber, feel free to use the sub raid call like that. And I'm going to go over and say hi to my friend Memloss. Let's do that. /raid Memloss. Oh, Napsmore was here too. Follow Napsmore. Let's give Napsmore a quick shout out. Does that space program thing that I can never remember how to say right. And someday Napsmore will get a cool custom command, but not today. Because I keep forgetting. Napsmore, there you are. Follow Napsmore if you're on Twitch. Alrighty. I think we're good. All right. I appreciate everybody being here. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Probably working on the other dress on this dress over here. We're probably working on that. This is surprisingly close to being done. I hope. Fingers crossed. Anyhow, let's do this. Let me come over here. Let me copy my raid call. Let me give the magic words. Hasta la vista, baby.